Because if you burn 3 boxes of chocolate at the same time, it gives you the same amount of speed as one.
Yeah, even
It's
when
a
you even
waste.
when you walk, it's the same speed. And I've noticed that when I did Bassie
Exactly.
distracting, is you go to a certain speed where it just doesn't change.
Exactly.
Like,
Additionally, that's another issue. The game states in the new trinket description that the speed caps at 40 speed, but no, it doesn't. It caps at whatever the run speed cap of 40 speed is. Because if Quell wanted to change it to make Bassie not able to hit more than 40 speed, then the way that she has done it is have the speed multiplier not be allowed to go greater than 33.3%. And that's to
mm-hmm.
prevent the run speed from being greater. She she, she
Well, the
went
nerf is
through
lower.
yeah, the nerf is due to run speed being that high. Uh if there were to be a nerf for Bone, one, I personally don't think a nerf is required. The great amount of efforts required to actually distract as Bassie is so incredibly volumetric that it is it's just too difficult. Again, even I, as the person who's distracted Dial, the first in the world, to successfully get it done, it took 12 attempts to get it right. And that was it was a really lucky circumstance in itself. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I really think that if she wants to prevent Dial from being distractible, she should have increased Dial's like vision range because Bassie's stealth is her biggest downside, and it should be a massive paramount. If you reworked Dial's ability of like getting faster as they get more mad, it should have been changed that if they are chasing somebody for an X amount of time and a skill check gets failed or something, they get immediately pulled off because they would cause way more chaos on the floor. Having
Mm-hmm.
Dial be able to switch on a dime from person to person would make it way more unstable of a kite and make it way more risky. And since he's a one shot, you can't ever risk that. Dial
So
distracting is
basically, it's
already
impossible now.
so incredibly risk. It's impossible now. No, it like Dial distract not only Dial distracting. Quell was so focused on making sure Dial was undistractable for Bassie that it wasn't thought about what other things Bassie cannot do anymore. Pebble V is completely impossible now. Uh, V's uh, V's debuff is 25% on the multiplicative, and if you have 33.3% max speed, then minus that by 25%, add the multiplicative factor, and you are just barely outrunning Pebble. If that, you're not able to turn or anything. You would be so constricted on what you're able to do. Bassie is already a dicey tune to play as, and that's what gives her so much skill potential. It gave her so much risk. Uh, because her stealth made or break her stealth being so high made or broke a floor. An entire different meta was born out of Bassie's skill, out of
So
her
now it's just Pebble
detriment
and
of having
Louis.
high stealth. Now it's not even because Louis is barely even anything meta based. The only distractor that's good now, that actually has any relevancy, get past getting, floor 20, but that's a bare minimum. If you have more than two Shellys on your team, you can get the speed run floor 20 in like 15 minutes. Floor 20 is nothing. So if your tune can't even pass 20, then it's all in vain. Like it's still not a good tune. Again, people talk about Flutter being a decent distractor or Coal or all these 4 speeds and Goob and stuff like that. And the issue is that they all are so incredibly limited. And that's what made Bassie different, is that Bassie's mobility was almost limitless. The limits were the game itself. It was the limits were you. You were the limit. Uh, and the limits from that point, the limitations, or what curbed her high agility was her stealth. because the meta is for extracting to get their floors quickly and have them not take 10,000 years is a ton of Shellys. Shelly has three stealth. There are currently, I believe, only 8 tunes in the game. I'm gonna double check real quick. That have identical or higher stealth to Bassie. Again, okay, hold on. Bassie, Connie, Coco, uh,
Cosmo.
Bassie, Connie, Coco, Cosmo, Ginger, uh,
Toodles.
Toodles, and nope, that's it. That's literally it. You get 6 tunes. Oh no, 7, Astro. Sorry.
Astro.
You get
I'll say
7 tunes out of all the characters in the game. There's 34. You get 8. You get 8 to work with, or not 8. You
so
get
stealth runs
7.
are very
One of
difficult
them
then.
being herself. Stealth runs are very, very long, time consuming. That's the whole issue right now with stealth runs, is that sure Bassie is a more flexible distractor, but the cost is having floors take forever and having Bassies have to go for longer and they have to keep on striding, and it becomes a test of time because you've made it to floor 100 a ton of times with Pebble Shelly comps and stuff.
So many times.
How long does it usually take
Depends on the team,
from
but usually it's under 4
from
hours.
0 to 100?
It's
under 4 hours.
Under
Okay.
4 hours,
Here's okay, 4 hours. Okay, here's a reference point. My HF is 117. You want to know how long it took us to get to floor 100?
yeah. No idea.
7 hours 45 minutes. We started the run at 11 a.m. and by the time we got there, it was 6:45 p.m.
Why did it take so long?
Because Shellys are such a overpowered extractor that everything else is regressively slower. In that run, when it comes down to the stealth comps, as of right now, the tunes that are used the most are Astro, Ginger, Connie, sometimes Cosmo if your team doesn't have any Gingers. Because, again, Ginger's just Cosmo but better. Buff Cosmo, rework Ginger, guys. But the issue is that Shelly's stats are so busted on top of having inspiration that floors get done so quickly with Shelly that it's not even close. Astros move slower. They have worse skill check. Uh, they have worse extraction speed across the board because Shelly's cooldown is so quick and you have so many of them on the team that almost everybody's getting boosted all the time. Comms get flooded from boosts alone. And any tune that has any competition with Shelly is still just being beaten out in a stealth run. Again, Astros have terrible extraction. Coco has worse extraction than average. And her stealth is identical, which makes her not viable for such runs. Because 4-star stealths in stealth runs, particularly, are encouraged to wear diary. So our Gingers usually use diary mode. And that's just because they are one healers. And because the issue is if you have a tune that has low stamina or mediocre stamina, like Coco's 2-star and Astra's 3-star, and Ginger's 3-star, with Ginger having terrible movement speed, Coco having above average, and Astra being average, they all have an overall poor mobility on a map-wide scale. So it becomes a pain if they accidentally pull a Twisted by getting too close.
Yeah, I see what you're saying here.
So
basically, the run goes slower because of the 3-star stealth that Shelly gets. So it takes a lot longer to gather all Twisteds.
Takes longer to gather Twisteds. It takes longer.
And you have to use a diary, right? So the diary means you can't use magnifying glass.
Correct. And magnifying glass is a make or break.
Yeah.
For Astros, we have them run mag mode. In that run, the 7-hour 45, we had 4 Astros with mag mode. We had 2 Gingers with diary mode, and then we had the 2 Bassies, our 2 Bassie distractors, me and Flynn. Flynn is the person you've probably seen a bunch on TikTok from the perspective of that Ginger and the Astros like stuffed in the corner trying to distract. Unfortunately, they died in the process. That's why I say that my video is the first successful kite, because Flynn tried it a few times and they died every single time so far. Uh, I haven't been in contact with Flynn for a hot minute though, so I wouldn't be able to know
Oh, he's
anything
jealous.
about their progress
He's
update.
jealous that you did it before him.
Most likely, most likely. But I mean, Flynn is still what I would consider a better distractor than me in some regards, just because Flynn and his team they they've made it to floor 150 and they hold the second highest floor like HF for floors for stealth runs in the world. The highest was floor 206. I don't remember the team's name, but they made it to 206. Somebody other than Flynn's team. Uh,
I think another team.
and it was with like 6 Astros, 2 Bassies, so they had like no heal. I don't know how they did that. That's honestly kind of impressive though.
Yep.
But I
So
mean,
yeah, distracting dial's been possible now, right? Because 33% movement speed maximum because of the 40 movement speed limit. That means dial is basically
yes,
faster
but
than you. He outruns you at max
correct.
speed.
He outruns you not only outruns you, but I don't even think he needs to hit max speed to outrun you, because you can only stack your speed 2 times, because the first one's 25%, and then it used to be before the nerf 56.5%. Because if you do 25, 25, and have them multiplicatively add up, if you have them get put together multiplicatively, it would equal 56%.
I think the biggest issue that you're having right now is the fact that Twisted Dial only shows up on one floor, and
Correct.
nerfing Bone
And
means it's all the floors now instead of just one.
right. Every normal kind of every run, even runs where they don't take on Dial, are gonna be so much worse now. One of the biggest benefits to having Bassie on a team for a stealth run, especially just having them be a distractor, is that they can collect Twisted a lot faster, even without Bark, because instead of having to move to mid, Bark, and wait for everything to come to you, you did the opposite. You ran out towards mid, and from there spread outward to collect the Twisteds yourself. You came to them instead of them coming to you. That's what made Bassie so interesting, is that collecting was different, distracting was different. Bassie, in general, was a different breed, literally speaking. Uh,
Mm.
you did things different with her, and that's what made her special.
So my
It's
question
what made her
is,
skilled.
why do you think Bone was nerfed? Why do you think they did it?
I think it was that. I think it's just Quell's proposition of stating that Dial shouldn't be distracted, and the easiest band-aid way to do that, uh, in the current circumstance, is to, without hurting other players and hurting the way that the floor was meant to be played, quote unquote, is to nerf Bassie instead of just making Dial even harder.
Or just why not change the map? Change the map geometry.
That is another way that you could have done it, because that purple circle was one of the only spots on the map you could actually distract him in. It's
So,
why it's used in every video you've ever seen. If you added a single obstacle right there, like any piece of cover that just covers over, it's the only carpet in the game that has like nothing on top of it. If there's like a single crate, like uh, if you watched my Dial Distract video, where I enter the circle from, where I have the commons and I'm pulling commons into the circle, if you just put a crate right there, it'd be impossible. Like, or not like impossible, it'd be a lot harder, if not completely infeasible for Dial Distracting. If you just had more obstacles there, made it a little harder and more compressed.
Maybe
Because
that's the better
Dial's
solution then.
hitbox is big enough. I would agree so, because it would affect specifically that floor, and affect specifically Dial. It wouldn't require you to buff Dial and make him even more dangerous than he already is. And it would keep Bassie intact.
Mm-hmm.
But
What are your thoughts on Bone being nerfed in the first place?
I think it's incredibly devastating. Bassie has great potential, and not only has but did have great potential as a off-class option. It finally made things different. It jostled the meta in a way. Because if you were good enough with Bassie and you actually knew what you were doing and you had a team that would work with you on it, uh, the meta in general was actually jostled for once. You didn't
Yeah, the method
actually
seems to be the
have to
same, right?
Shelly
It's
stack.
always the same comp.
It's always been the same ever since Shelly and Pebble, and that's been the since the game's release. People have been like disputing it with every tune that's ever added, but it's still just been the same ever since. Ever since Pebble got Bark instead of having the item searching thing. Uh, Ever since Pebble got Bark, the meta's been exactly the same, with maybe the only small adjustment being replacing Cosmo's terrible extracting character with Ginger, who's actually good.
Well, do you think
Uh,
you were responsible for the nerf? Like, do you think Quell only nerfed the
Absolutely.
bone because of you?
I absolutely do. I do think so. I do have that as a conscientious thought, honestly.
Hmm.
Which is it's kind of scary and unfortunate at the same time
It is.
because not only have I not like all I'm just a dude that likes playing the game. I still have a full-time job. I mean it's technically not part-time just because I've been taking more time off, but just to do this more of this YouTube stuff since it's been going around. But yeah, no, the idea that m me finally having an option in the game that actually takes skill to do being stripped away is such a devastating thought. It's like if tomorrow they removed Bark off Pebble and put the original ability back in.
I think a better way to describe it would be if one person aced an exam, no one else aced the exam,
Yeah,
just that one person, and then they changed the whole curriculum because of that one person.
exactly. It's
Like
just like
in
one kid that yeah, it's one
yeah,
kid that actually figured out how everything works and was punished for it. It's sad to see that Bassie distractors are being punished
because of you.
uh, because of me. I feel like this nerf was way too harsh because what I can tell you in the brief times that I distract would have a dial kite, not even just the successful one, but my other attempts way before, because it's the thing that nobody sees. I upload the successful attempt because I know that's what people want to see. They don't want to see all this build up, all this hype, and then crunch. You know, they, most people don't want to see that. Uh,
Why do you think they Why do you think they nerfed the bone in this way? Why do you think they set it to 40 instead of doing
I
what we
f-
mentioned earlier, which is like just change the
I think it's just
mechanism?
because this is the easiest. I think it's just because this is the easiest way to do it. And I feel like they would be worried that any map geometry that they change would just mean that the Bassies would try to weave or adapt around it. Weave, get it? Basket? No.
Really now? With
I
the
have it
now,
in the
okay.
script for the Bassie guide. We have to postpone the Bassie guide because Bassie's completely ruined now.
I
Uh,
know.
but yeah, no,
Gotta make a new video now, don't I? Because the video plans are kind of be ruined at this point.
yeah, but I feel like this was just their easiest way of nerfing her,
Hmm.
in general.
Like you
And
said,
they
it's
just
already more
didn't
powerful
want
tunes,
to
right?
be cropped up. I'm sorry?
Like you said earlier, this Battie's off meta. There's already better distractors out there.
Yeah, Bassie was off meta because the issue with Bassie is just that yeah, she's a better distractor if the environment around her is catered to her because of her stealth. You
Hmm.
either need Shellys that are like
Good at
hopping
hiding, which is impossible.
that are either hiding the entire time,
Which doesn't happen.
which might not it just doesn't happen because you there's always going to be an instance where on a floor there's a machine that's in the way. Uh again, if you look at the short clip that I have of me doing double craft, that floor never got completed to its full because there was a machine in middle that never got V-moded, and that's the only spot that like I could start doing them at. When I tried moving to broken around the smaller island on that kitchen map, uh, I actually got killed in the process uh, because the island was too small and the area was too tight. Uh, So I can say I did successfully distract them because I held out that double craft for a pretty long amount of time. But otherwise, when I did finally have to move, that's when it all fell apart. Uh, but yeah, the the bone nerf is way too brutal because I honestly really thought that would have buffed Dial instead because Dial is already the fastest tune in the twisted in the game.
I just
So
love how in
I
our chat
thought they
with
would
your
have
general. Hmm?
they like the chat with the general.
Yeah, in our Discord server, they're still talking about the bone trigger being nerfed. It's been 30 minutes ago. People are wanting bone to be changed. It's not just you. Pretty much everyone in the general chat right now is wanting it to be changed.
Yeah.
But I do have a final question for you. Um, do you think you'll be distracting as Bassie in the future, or while the bone nerf has happened, or do you just gonna stop using Bassie?
Honestly, I don't know, man. I don't think I can. It's too slow. It's way too slow. Like I gave it a test earlier and Bassie's movement speed is so incredibly slow that most of the interesting things about Bassie in general have been completely stripped away. Any of the interesting new kites that I've created, any of the new ways to play in general, the new ways that the all the possibilities that I created are gone. Uh, and so now the only option left is to, I don't know. I guess I just extract now because I don't
You're gonna
think
turn to a Shelly main. You've become
I'm
me.
gonna I'd either have to just do Shelly maining stuff or I'd go back to pulling my hair with Louis because I hate Pebble. I really do. It's not like I can't use Pebble. I use him just fine. I just
Oof.
hate how easy he is. He's
I better
so
change tune
easy.
then. There you go. I'll change to Louis.
Well, no, like Pebble's a cute little guy. I love the little doggy and all that. I just hate how he's literally the entire meta. Like Louis, in comparison, is a objectively speaking more skilled tune because of the limitations he has. That's what makes Louis interesting. That's what makes it's Matty G doing it so interesting because you don't have a bark to just pull aggro to you like it's nothing. You have to work for your gather. You have to
Yeah.
work for your speed. You have to risk yourself at every turn. That's
No,
what makes
Louis'
Louis
ability is
interesting.
stam, stam, stam.
Yeah, Louis Louis has. I know that distracting dial is not worth it, and my team keeps saying so, and everyone's in agreement on it. But we're like, but it's so fun. It's so fun. Like that's what distracting is so interesting of a thing. Again, it was such a unique concept. Not I That's one of the whole reasons that drew me in, because that's a thing. That's something that I know almost never talk about. But before the Easter update, I was on the verge of quitting Dandy's World entirely because from the point that I started playing the game and about the GG update, I believe, uh, I still remember me starting for the first time ever to this day. I used to play VR chat with my friend Taylor. God bless her soul. Uh, and because I like just recently at the time I bought a VR and stuff. And one of my friends that I was playing with put on an avatar for the pastel skin of Scraps. And I'm like, what is this hexagon cat thing? And it was like, oh, it's scraps from Dandy's World. And I'm like, what is Dandy's World? uh, but yeah, I remember picking Boxton, and they had some distractor goobs on the team and stuff. I don't remember how far we got. I think we was like in the 20s or something. It was like around 20 that we got to, or close to it. And ever since then, I got like hooked on the game. I've been playing it religiously. But when I took up distracting because I saw how fun it was, uh, I didn't like Goob because of how slow he was, and his run speed's kind of weird. I mean, his run animation looked funky, and I just couldn't. It just didn't vibe right with me. When Louis came out, I was like, "Ooh, this looks like a fun tune. High risk, high reward. I like. This is an interesting concept. I get to go faster than Pebble, but at a cost." And the issue was that I play on console, and the game is it's an online game. So if I ever distract and my internet or my console start to die out on me, then there will be massive issues with that. Because like if I gotta drop to 1 and then a lag spike occurs or like a game freeze or anything, it's over. And I thought that was so unforgiving. And it was always such a struggle to play Louis well and to get him past like floor 30 or 40 just because of how much risk you have to take and how Pebble V is like basically impossible if items are relying on teammates like Astros. I always thought that was such a crutch or like such a not selfish. I don't have the word for it. Uh, an unreliable way to play. Like you have to rely on like on an Astro to stab you up when you need one. You need to rely on the floor to give you good RNG for good items. Point is, I hated Louis because of how terrible he was in so many circumstances. I hate Pebble because he's such a crutch or whatever. And just because he's the meta, I don't like having to force a meta. Like I understand Shelly is, and I do find Shelly fun to not only play but have a team of. Uh, but I hate how powerful Pebble is, and how it doesn't seem like anyone cares. Because like, well,
Alright,
he's the
don't
meta
worry.
though.
Oh, don't worry. I made a tier list video pointing it out.
Yeah, he's so overpowered. But yeah, I around the Christmas update, like around the end of the Christmas update, I got all the tunes and I was like, wow, all these tunes really suck. They all are useless except for Ginger, and Ginger is just well, Cosmo but better in every way. Uh, and it was around that time where I just kept struggling and struggling and struggling to distract, and that I was on the verge of just quitting entirely. There was other games that were coming out that seemed more interesting, and I started playing those, but just like my whole friend group was here. My whole that I started building up, all the people from my server Spectrum Garden, they're all from here. So it was always so hard to pull away, but I was really soul crushing at that time. And it was only when Easter came around, I was like, okay, I'll give it another shot. And that's when Bassie came out, and I tried Bassie. And then I heard about from my friend Annie. She was like, "Oh my goodness, Bassie can go super fast if you do this little thing." And it's like, that's still cool. And it was instant, like an instant click. Everything worked. I mean, yeah, the stealth didn't,
I mean, that's the
but yeah,
challenge, right?
exactly. That's the cost. Just like Louis has a cost of health, Bassie has a cost of stealth. Bassie's stealth is her cost.
Hmm.
She shouldn't have this cap. This cap is so arbitrary.
So I guess that reminds me then, when it comes to what do you think Quell should do? If there's anything you could say to Quell about the boner, what would you say?
If I could just to quell this directly,
Yeah.
I would be asking to please revert this. This is such either revert it or increase the speed cap to like 50, because that was already what it was originally, if I remember correctly. Because there's already the intrinsic speed cap of the game that's enforced in itself. Because like it doesn't matter if I have a speed multiplier of 300%. The game doesn't care what that is because it'll just set my speed to whatever the cap of the game is. Because I remember I remember the elevator bug being a thing. And in there, you could set your speed to triple digit multipliers. And it didn't matter because anything past like, what, again, 300, 400% was capped anyway.
It still works, you know, that glitch.
I tried it recently. It didn't. Where
Oh,
you like,
they changed it?
yeah. Yeah, in the dial update, they patched it.
Wow, they're really targeting you today.
Yeah, they don't want me to have fun in the elevator. They don't want me to have fun ever. They don't want me to have fun in the elevator and zip around in a tiny little box where nothing's even happening in the first place. Uh,
I know. It does nothing happens in there, doesn't it? Because
but
the speed reverts at
nothing
the start of
happens.
the floor anyway.
Yeah, because if you try to, because especially when it says like generating room, if you try to like do the bug at that time, it'll delete the item entirely. It'll just zip gone. Uh,
But no, I
I've
guess
deleted
that's
many stopwatches. I've
I
deleted
know,
many
right?
stopwatches in my time. But
I guess that's I don't have any more questions about it really. I asked
yeah,
pretty much everything I need to know. But yeah, thanks for talking to me about this. It's good to know an actual opinion from the guy who actually created the video.
did the thing.
Yeah, because I've tried Bassie distracting. I'm not as fast as you. I'll
Yeah,
collect an item maybe like
but
once every 2 seconds.
yeah.
But no, I appreciate it. I appreciate it.